from that park place.
Hey.
Magic Kingdom sees shockingly low crowds on July 4th, raising alarms for Disney. This is Marvin, Montenaro, July 4th, 2025. Let's see here. For decades, the 4th of July has been one of the most packed days of the year at Disney World's Magic Kingdom. But in the summer of 2025, already marked by unusually light crowds, that park place witnessed something almost unthinkable. A wide open Magic Kingdom on July 4th. Arriving just after park opening, our team found Main Street USA surprisingly calm. Aside from the occasional cluster around PhotoPass photographers and the Dapper Dans, the entrance hub was practically empty. The themed lands branching out from Cinderella Castle told a starker story. Liberty Square and Frontierland were ghost towns well into the midday hours with wide open walkways and virtually no waits. And you can see what those wait times looked like right here. Pirates of the Caribbean, Haunted Mansion, Tomorrowland Speedway, all walk-ons. And then Peter Pan's Flight, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, Tiana's Bayou Adventure, Space Mountain, Jungle Cruise, and Tron Light Cycle Run. All an hour or below. A lot of those in the 30 to 35 minute and 40 minute ranges, which is, for that roster of attractions, it's quite unheard of. And that's the thing, too. This story culture, if you can believe it, gets even worse. And I was talking to an industry friend about the July 4th travel and those visitation patterns that we keep up to date on here at that park place so closely. You can see this right here. This is Visit Orlando. Visit Orlando is basically a one-stop shop for industry enthusiasts because they keep track of a lot of metrics when it comes to, well, obviously travel in the Orlando area. You can see right here, Orlando tops the nation for 4th of July holiday travel, July 3rd, 2025. You can see right here, hotel bookings, the 4th of July weekend, July 4th through the 6th, are pacing 10% ahead of last year. What? How could that be? How could you have nobody in Magic Kingdom and then the hotel bookings are actually higher than 2024 as we look in 2025? How could this be? What is going on? What is happening? I'll tell you exactly what's happening. People are going to Orlando. They're seeing the attractions there, but they're just not going to Disney. Now, there are a lot of places they are going. Some will say Epic Universe, and I think that's correct. I think a lot of people did go to Epic Universe on the 4th of July weekend, and that could be causing cannibalization at Disney's parks. But the other thing, too, that I found out when talking to my industry friend is a lot of people are going to Orlando, and then guess where they're going, Culture?
Alligator Alcatraz.
We'll talk about that in just a moment. No, they're not going to Alligator Alcatraz.
Oh, okay.
They're going on cruise liners.
That makes sense.
Right. They're going down there to Port Canaveral, and they're getting on a cruise liner, and they're going out and away from the Orlando area containing maybe Disney's theme parks and Walt Disney World Resort. So that's the most interesting thing here. And, some people did call that park place out and say, hey, you guys are lying. I'm here. It's busy. It's packed, But you have to understand that a lot of people do come in the very last moment for what? They come in for the fireworks. And then guess what? They leave. They don't necessarily go to a dining reservation. Maybe they eat before they actually get there. They don't necessarily shop on their way out because guess what? A lot of those people have shopped before. Going for the fireworks, they get out and they go home. So at around this time, if it's empty, around noonish, that's not a good sign because a lot of those guests are the only ones that are actually going to spend a full day there. And those are the only ones with the maximum revenue opportunities of buying merchandise and eating and dining and getting like one meal or maybe two, whether in the Magic Kingdom or any of the other parks. Culture, what are we seeing here? Looking at all this data, looking at firsthand accounts and also industry expert analysis, your thoughts and views on all of this.
Disney has priced themselves out of the middle-class American family. They've also attacked themselves out of, actual American interest. And I think that their failures and their obvious politics is actually, driving crowds to other similar experiences that at this point actually are superior to what Disney has to offer. They have sat stagnant, resting upon their laurels, and when they haven't done that, they've destroyed aspects of their park system that were wildly popular. they're about to do it again, or are doing it as we speak right now. So I would just suggest that Disney has, in every single way that it could, destroyed interest in their parks. They have little to offer, and I mean, or dwindling offerings, I think would be a better way to describe it. And again, I mean, they're just far too expensive. And as I said before, addicted to price hikes, not justify, because they're not even maintaining their parks to the level that they used to. So there are many other things, like you said, Alligator Alcatraz, or just go to Gatorland, or, you know, other wonderful things. I mean, like, I will tell you, even the Legoland in Florida is not a bad option, especially if you have youthful children. You have other opportunities. SeaWorld there is great, super fun day of opportunity and new things to do there. You've got obviously Epic Universe, that's going to be the most popular Florida attraction this summer and probably for the next 3 years. And you have them already expanding upon these offerings at the Universal parks as a whole. We're about to see massive redevelopment of various areas within the other 2 theme parks that they can control, and their hybrid water park that they try to pretend is its own park, which is fine. I don't mind that at all. Disney doesn't offer anything new. We've talked about the lack of attraction expansion for a long time, and the fact that when they do build something, it takes them 7 years. So looking at Walls again at Epcot, that's coming soon to a park near you. And you're going to be looking at Walls to be Frontierland. There's going to be a lot less reasons to go to Disney for a long time. Let's just be honest about it. And so, I mean, and finally, you mentioned this, but cruise ships are loading up. They offer great value, experiences, and affordability because they include meals and a hotel that floats from place to place. I mean, there's no other experience like that. And people are now shunning Disney cruises in favor of, let's say, Royal Caribbean and others. So this is going to be a massive L for Disney for a long time.
Yeah, I think it will be. And I think you bring up a great point about those cruise lines right there. It is the one area of the travel and leisure industry that has seen almost double-digit growth from year to year in the last 5 or 6 years. We don't really see that at theme parks. We don't really see that at any of the other opportunities or attractions that people actually go to and visit and see and all of that. But we do actually see that with the cruise line business. I mean, it has exploded in recent years. So that could be accounting for a lot of this. A lot of people will say the epic effect, and I do think that there is an effect there as well. But here's the thing, culture. It's not just happening at Walt Disney World. It's actually happening at Disneyland as well. We're going to get into more of this and a more detailed account of what's actually been going on in Disneyland at T3PO Live this afternoon. But I want to go ahead and put this up on screen right now. This is the reservation calendar here for Magic Key holders who are visiting Disney in July. Now, I believe this is the Inspire key because all the other keys are blacked out in some ways in the month of July. So this is the one with a maximum opportunity to visit every single day in July. And you can see right there, it's all wide open. That should not exist, especially because I think this was taken on July 4th itself, and neither DCA or Disneyland are booked up for the day. The only booked out day that you actually see right here is on the 17th, and there's multiple reasons for that. That's the 70th anniversary day of Disneyland, and it is the debut of the Walt Audio-Animatronic. And I think the update to It's a Small World right there. So it's kind of a big day in terms of this calendar right here, but all the other days are wide open. To illustrate this even further, we have a tweet here from Disney Scoop Guy. The Disneyland Resort is so dead today that almost every single restaurant has walk-ups available. Again, you're talking about like a Disneyland, right? There's only 4 sit-down restaurants in that entire park. This is one of the most attended theme parks in the world, with, I believe, hitting 17 million visitors roughly in the last ACOM TEA, or Themed Entertainment Association report. Okay, it's very heavily attended, and yet you only have 4 sit-down restaurants. The idea that you have walk-ups available on that day or on that weekend is insane. Culture, your final thoughts on all of this?
I think it's very telling. The Blue Bayou restaurant's one that everybody tries to get into.
Yeah.
When you look at the restaurants here, so with that having walk-ups, it's not only surprising, it's startling. It's
right.
That should be terrifying news to Disney. But I'm going to say I'm not surprised. Again, Disney is addicted to price hikes. The locals are not going to, worry about getting dinner in the parks because it's overpriced. It's terribly overpriced times 10. And they're not going to worry about any of the other things that the parks have to offer other than the evening festivities and maybe a ride or two that they can walk on. So even the localized crowd is staying far away from what Disney has to offer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's I couldn't believe it when I saw the reports coming out from both coasts. Usually, if Walt Disney World's empty, Disneyland's usually packed, and vice versa. And there's a range of reasons as to why that is, but mostly due to the types of populations that actually visit these parks, right? At Disneyland, you have a much higher percentage of the annual attendance coming from annual pass holders or magic key holders, right? And then at Walt Disney World, it's a much more tourist-driven industry, so there are ebbs and flows with that as well. To see such low crowds on both coasts simultaneously, that should be very concerning for Disney.
I'm concerned for them, but at the same time, they earned it. Right. You reap what you sow, and you've driven your fandom away. There's that love of Disney that seemed like it was generational, past generation to generation, has expired. They've forced enough people into just not caring anymore, just not being invested any longer. There's no specialness there. You remember the magic, I could just possibly imagine, is the only way to describe what this is. Remember the magic, because it's not there anymore. And I can't wait to hear that music once more. Remember the magic. Nope. And neither will any of the grandkids or anything else, because rather go to Epic, rather go on a cruise, rather get more for my money, and rather that you still love America. You are a family American company, and you are now very anti-America.
It's sad commentary for sure. And I was encouraged, at least by the number of 4th of July or Independence Day related tweets that actually came out from the company, or social media posts. That was very encouraging. But has damage already been done? Apparently, for a lot of people, it might have been. We were just talking about the 4th of July crowds right there. And
I happened to be there for that.
Yes, we were defending your honor. And I know you not only collected that footage that we actually saw during that segment, but also could personally say, hey, listen, the crowds were actually low. Any commentary that you want to provide for that?
Look, I have been there for the 4th of July when it is slam jam packed. And I know what it's like. It was basically slammed from the second the rope drop happened to for the entire day up until fireworks. This was insane. Walk-ups for the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique. I've never seen that on a normal day, let alone on what's supposed to be one of probably the 3 most crowded days of the year. I walked over to Be Our Guest restaurant. I asked them if they had any availability that day. They had plenty of availability to walk right in and get a table, essentially. I mean, look at this. This is the 4th of July. This looks like a Wednesday in September.
Yeah, it looks pretty low to me. And hey, look, listen. I mean, I don't know what more we can provide to the people saying, hey, you're just lying about this. We're not. Okay,
we're not the only ones saying it anymore, which is the funny thing. WWE Magic was saying it. All Ears was saying it. Touring Plans has been saying it. We have been screaming this for months and months, and now finally other people are starting to get on board with the fact that these parks just are seeing alarmingly low levels of crowd.
Thanks for watching That Park Plays News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.